Hello, everyone. This is the Ingress NGINX sub-project for uh, networking. Sorry, today is March 29th, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Remember that this is a CNCF sanctioned meeting, and that means it is subject to the code of conduct, which means be awesome to each other, be kind. If you have any issues, please report those to myself or to the CNCF. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. It's gonna be a little light today. As far as attendance is concerned, some folks are not available. So we're going to go ahead and go through some of the issues that Noah so nicely put together for us, work through some of the triage, but probably going to cut a little short today so that Aditha and myself can work through some of the end-to-end testing, as most of you are probably watching in the dev channel or in GitHub. We've been trying to upgrade the Alpine version, and we've been having some issues with the end-to-end testing. So we're going to go ahead and work on those a little bit. But let's go ahead and look at, actually, when we start looking at the follow-up and triage issues, the libxml vulnerability, there's an SSL vulnerability, SSL and OpenSSL vulnerability. I think there was a new one from zlib that just came out that just got patched. So fortunately, all of those are patched. They're just not passing the end-to-end testing. So that's, I know those are there. So that's always fun. I don't, Carol, this might be helpful from just a, see what NGINX is thinking about with this issue from the Ingress class perspective. I don't know how they've implemented it, but it looks like from backwards compatibility, the annotation should take priority. And I guess we flipped it. That might have just been a miscommunication. So I was just wondering if we could have that conversation, maybe not now, but have that conversation with Damien and team. We've got the HackMD through there. We probably just need to get someone assigned to it, but we continue to have that discussion. Could you have him maybe review that doc for us and see and put his thoughts in there?
Send me the link, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just drop that to you in Slack. If I don't do it now, I'll probably won't get done. There you go. That'd be great. Thank you. That'll be helpful to get their opinion and see on it. So is that the reload question? I don't remember this one. There are 5 ingresses which are always being upgraded via Helm. Just wondering if I upgrade 5 ingress annotations, could it be just uploaded one time? I think we talked about this last week.
Hey, James, just FYI, I don't think you're sharing your right screen. We can see like some IP table comments. So
I'm studying for clustered on Thursdays. I was making sure that I had my IP tables rules down. Let me go ahead and switch my screen. Thank you. I had my I have too many screens. Which desktop is that? It's desktop 3. There we go. I think we talked about this one last week, didn't we? Or last couple weeks ago, the multiple ingress update, reloading n times. If you update an ingress control, if you update an annotation, it's going to reload. So if you update it 5 times, it's going to do a 5-time reload. And he was asking for a new. He's asking for it to be done in a specific time change. I think right now we might have pressing matters in this one. I think that was the same distinction we had last week between the Ingress class API gateway and now all of the CVEs with the base images. This is probably, from a feature perspective, this might be pretty low down on the list, unfortunately. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see the right screen now? You
yes,
should be seeing today's meeting. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So is that one? I think this is the conversation we were having in Slack earlier as well. As the keep alive support for auth requests, I just need to schedule time for it again. new feature. We've got the the same kind of thing. So I hate to block these, but I think right now vulnerabilities in the current version take precedence over a new version, and I don't think anyone would disagree. And if they would, I hope they would join this and challenge that that thought. Anybody on the call want to disagree or have a lively discussion about that?
Nope.
I think it's fair if we're having API compatibility issues and vulnerabilities, those take precedence over new features. Stability should take precedence over new features. So I will add this to the list. Let me go ahead and go assign that to myself so it shows up in my notifications. It's already assigned to Tao. I wonder if he's, let's go see. I think he may have. Okay, so Tao's already looking at it. Okay, he's already got some responses, some questions. Oh, he said it looks good to him. Ricardo said it looked good too. Okay, well, if we've already got 2 reviewers that have LGTM on it, I could probably just push it through. Adisa, you want to talk about this one?
I'm mostly looking for some preliminary feedback. No one's taken a look at it, so I was hoping to get someone's attention, but may not be the best of times right now. But essentially, there was an issue that was raised where if you had an upstream that was used in both a canary and a non-canary ingress, the upstream was only available through the canary.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yes. So the PR is basically creating 2 objects now internally, one for the canary and one for non-canary. So you can have like a separation, and then only the canary ones can merge with the others to form the traffic splitting policy.
Okay.
So it's not complete in that, like maybe there are some E2E tests that I still need to fix, but I wanted to get like a preliminary, yeah, it's a fine approach type of thing from someone so I can move ahead.
I mean, that makes sense to me, just from understanding if we've got different functionalities, you know, canary versus non, and tracking them differently.
That's okay. I had posted this on Slack also. I'll see if I can tag Ricardo or someone else to just give me like a thumbs up to move ahead.
Yeah, and I know Ricardo just had a huge change that he pushed into cube networking, and that was mostly what he was focusing on. So
Okay.
he might time might have freed up for him now, besides the fact that he's not on. His day job's taking up, so he might have some time opening up with that. Let's go ahead and look at some of the older ones. Well, that one's looking up from Ricardo. Please clarify if you want to do this or not. Which one is this one? I don't think I've read through this one. It's already closed.
Oh, this one is not an issue actually.
Okay.
I've also looked at this.
Okay, cool. Easy enough. And do we need to update the docs there? Oh, this was an older one too. I don't think we've ever had 0-time upgrades. I know there was a couple posts that talked about how you could do it, but I don't think we've ever in the docs had a 0-time upgrade.
I think pieces of it are there already in the Helm chart. So what the issue is saying is that the code is there, but the docs say it's not there. So please clarify which one is correct.
This would be a good one for somebody to test out and see if it actually works.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I feel like punting this one down the road as well. I know the documentation, both from the Ingress class and stuff like this, a little older things need to be updated.
You can assign it to me. I'll take a look once I get some time.
Okay. Alrighty, that's some of the older stuff. That's already assigned out to me. That one's a much bigger issue that we'll go from there. See if there's anything. I know I saw that. I think we were up to like last time I saw it was like 270. So I was going to go ahead and walk through about 10 minutes of issue triage. Sound good, folks?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Support extra invoice for job resources in Helm chart. That sounds like a good first issue.
Okay.
As always, I never remember all of the labels. Let me go ahead and add that. A good first issue on that one. Sorry, folks. Don't have them all memorized. Another documentation update issue. The path reference here from the official docs. The link to the example app is in raw format. It shows an error when building a Docker one. Please update the ref link. Oh, that's interesting. Not a fan of that either. The link to the app isn't working in the raw format, so it needs to when building in the Docker file. So is there just an issue with the Docker file? I'm not a fan of that example. That doesn't look clean. But yeah, this is a good first issue as well. You know, I just wrote it. You'd think I would have remembered it. A lot of documentation questions. Just saying, yeah, documentation. Allow custom error annotation to overwrite config map values when empty. Isn't it off by default? I'm confused on what the actual issue here is. Enables each region pass and processing error page directly setting. Yeah, that's fine. Overwrite the config map value with an empty list instead of skipping it. Huh.
There's a PR link there, so maybe that makes it clearer.
Oh, well, that's even more helpful that they have a PR link. And they've got a test. Look at that. You love to see that. Looks like it's been there for a minute. Oh, and it's got all of those. I'll go ahead and I'll sign it to myself and look at this one. Because if they got PRs and they've got, let me just put that on my to-do list. All right, next one. Let's go back to the list. How are we doing on time? Close all those up. Add a node selector for mission jobs to the Helm chart flags. This also seems like I think I skipped over this one because no, I skipped over the mod doc. Helm chart provides a flag. This is another one of those things that'd be a great first issue. Sorry guys, I'm just like going all over the place with my browser. You yell at me. Those little things like that, just adding like one or two things is those are nice little good first issues that folks can work on. You can use an ALB or an NLB, but AWS doesn't say to use. AWS's documentation says to use an NLB, I believe. I can
think
answer
this
that.
one, if you run it with an ALB, it won't quite work the same way because the ALB may terminate TLS, so it won't really. It'll be like another ingress in front of an ingress.
Yeah. I've got that. I'll go ahead and answer this one later too. Static manifest contains managed by Helm. I think we talked about this one too. Something wrong with the generate Helm script, and Long looks like Long's got this one. Why he didn't assign himself, I don't know, but I will go ahead and do that for him. This bodes well for my Thursday, watching me type. All right, folks. I think we're gonna go ahead and drop and call this one early. Instead of watching me triage issues myself, I've got a couple already. And Ethan and I are gonna look at the end-to-end tests and try to figure out why we can't get Alpine upgraded to 3.14, 4 or 5, or even get 3.15 running. So thanks for joining, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I'm gonna stop sharing and stop recording.